devotion, strength, unity, peace, simplicity, here and now, abundance here and now. Stay rooted like sequoia, reach to heaven. Wow. On earth as it is in heaven, inviting and drawing that heavenly light, that heavenly love down into every layer of the body, every cell, drawing it down into the most primordial swamp-like textures, avoiding nothing. If there's some aspect of your humanity, your sacramental human journey, an inner child within you, any part within you that feels ugly or forsaken or abandoned, I invite and generally recommend not to avoid that, rather to go into that, cradle any wounded part in pure grace, as if you were the great mother, the great grandmother, cradling your own wounded children to your eternal breast. Hold all parts and aspects of your being in the cozy blanket of unconditional love. Blanket all parts in the cozy blanket of pure love and grace. Wash all parts in the oceanic waters of life. Nothing needs to be avoided. This love that is here is already unconditionally embracing everything, and it seems to invite, in a sense, it seems to want to directly, unconditionally embrace everything, any part within the total ecology of your being that feels cut off from it, that feels desert-like. It wants to bring the showers, the rains of pure love, such that that desert knows that it is fully loved and embraced and can freshly blossom as an exotic jungle, an exotic forest of lushness, of vividness, of beauty. The whole inner ecology of your being bathed in the love of Christ, the heart of Lao Tzu, the diamond heart of Buddha nature, of Anandamayi Ma, unconditionally bathing all parts in that love, in that grace, is a beautiful, beautiful practice, and feels to me like a natural movement of what is called awakening. Sometimes people distinguish awakening from healing or sanctification. In my own personal process, I don't really sense these things as separate or distinct in any way. They feel like a natural movement of this nowness. This nowness wants to open all of itself into the inmost fires of loving grace, the inferno of loving grace that burns as its omnipresent center, as its omni-center point, as the inmost center of the sun of what it is. Awareness. Wishes to, in a sense, wishes to wash clean all aspects and remind and reveal to all aspects that they are of that one light, that one presence, that holy nowness, holy wowness, wholeness that we are, that is always here now. So that is the invitation for today. Ramana Maharshi stated that the paths of jnana and bhakti yoga are not separate. The paths of knowledge and devotion are not separate. They fuel one another in a way, like twin dragons spiraling like one DNA double helix. That single-pointed devotion to whatever formless or formful, personal or suprapersonal face of divinity, expression of divinity, emanation of purest love, purest grace, purest truth, purest wisdom resonates most deeply in your heart and soul. The single-pointed devotion to that, loving God with all your heart, with all your mind, with your total body, with the total infinite dimensional boundless vastness of your being, creates a kind of purifying fire that everything can be offered to. Everything can be given to that fire, that exquisitely gentle flame of home, of presence. Everything can be given to the oceanic waters of life, ever present here now, to be cleansed, to be restored, to be brought home and brought into the knowing that this has always been home and every part has always been home. And yet that knowingness can seem to be blocked, can seem to be inaccessible. And so the entire movement, this entire transpersonal movement of awakening is, in a sense, a burning away of the feeling that this is not home now, a burning away of the grasping for something else, a feeling that something else is needed other than this nowness, this wholeness. In a profound, profound sense, this is always it now. This is liberation, this is freedom, this is love, this is wholeness, this is enlightenment, this is God. Here it is, we found it. You're always standing on the finish line in a deep, deep sense, and that itself is a very powerful, very freeing, very liberating contemplation. And at the same time, this wholeness invites and continuously does open to itself every moment a fresh revelation, every moment the light of pure being, of pure awareness floods and bathes all things in its radiance, all things that arise into that radiance, and some parts and aspects of it, of us, can seem to be hidden from it, can seem to be locked away or buried in the dark basement, the dark caverns of the body, the psyche, and that's where things like shadow work, inner child work, somatic exploration, plant medicine work can all be very valuable for excavating those hidden caverns that seem somehow to be buried or cut off from this wholeness, even though they truly are not. Excavating those and letting all of that content, all of those parts and pieces, aspects, energies, inner children at every age and stage to come into the totalizing embrace of the father, the mother, the great-grandfather, the great-grandmother of all that is. The father's arms are open wide, the mother's arms are open wide, and feeling that and adopting that as a stance toward any and all energies that may arise within us, avoiding nothing within ourselves, welcoming it all into that all-blanketing radiance, that all-embracing lovingness, gracefulness, in my experience, is the deepest medicine that naturally unravels the knots, heals, cleanses, alchemizes, sanctifies, transfigures in a way that is supremely intelligent beyond our finite mortal intelligence. And over time, it feels less and less like something you are doing or that you even need to try to do. It's just what is happening. Everything becomes, in a sense, grist for the mill or fuel for the fire, which can sound a bit harsh, a bit intense as a metaphor, but it's more like there is this exquisitely gentle and all-loving inferno that arises, this burning fire of presence, of pure presence. And you know intrinsically that that presence is home, that you can fully trust and fully have faith single-pointedly in that divine presence, in whatever expression of that divine presence resonates most deeply with you. For me, the word Christ resonates most deeply, and I see all as Christ, even as I can also tune into the focal point of the personal emanation of Jesus, and that is an incredibly powerful, heart-opening portal for me. And over time, as I said, it just begins to feel like this bonfire has been kindled in your being. It's blazing, it's burning. Nothing needs to be avoided. Anything that arises can be welcomed into that cradle of life, that womb-like ocean of grace that subsumes everything into itself, that returns everything to its native essence, that washes everything clean, dissolves the burdens of any part or aspect, and allows every part or aspect to be reassimilated into and as its original luminous template that has always been there as its own latent nature, its own latent home, at-homeness. So, yeah, that's the invitation for today. Those are some words that express my deeply personal experience of devotional sanctification as a natural expression of awakening, devotional embodied sanctification and healing. Hope this has been valuable for you. Peace to all beings. May all beings know grace, peace, and love. I love you. I love you, person watching this. Be well.